Hi guys, welcome back to Style with Substance and welcome to today's video, which is in collaboration with British Vogue. So I have got my latest copy, which is a great feature on the Beckhams, and I am reading Vogue at the moment just to get lots of autumn winter fashion inspiration, catch up on a bit of celebrity gossip, but also just, you know, kind of see what's going on in the world of media, entertainment, lifestyle and design. So I love Vogue for that. You guys can pick up a free copy of the magazine if you click the link in my description box, and if not Vogue, then you can pick up some of their other titles like Tatler, Vanity Fair, Brides magazine, lots of other different ones. So thank you to Vogue for collaborating with me on this video, and without further ado, what I'm going to do is show you guys how I got this makeup and hair look, give you a bit of an update and tell you what's been going on with me, grab a cup of tea and settle down for a bit of a chit chat, get ready with me life update. My setup is a bit like this, so I've got my makeup brushes in here, I have this little handheld mirror there, some makeup wipes, my Morphe 35C palette, my makeup bag of course, ooh, some milk of magnesia, and then hair tools over here. So I think I'll probably start with my hair, just because I always feel like if my hair is done, I don't like pile on loads of makeup. So hair wise, I'm wearing this, I'll give you the name of it. It is a Virgin Brazilian straight wig from A-List Lace Hair. I will link the Instagram down below, but yeah, it's basically just colour 1B, I believe, natural black, and I've had it maybe for about a month now. So normally it's actually okay with just a brush. I've recently cut some layers in it at the front just to sort of frame my face a little bit, so this will be the first time that I'm like properly styling them. I'm looking over here because I've got like a big mirror there just so I can sort of see what I'm doing hair wise. But yeah, I love the hair. It is very full, so if you don't like your hair much sort of thicker than this, I would definitely say go for the Brazilian straight, because they have like a sort of more yucky texture one that is a bit more like afro hair, and yeah, that is even more coarse, so I'd say it's easier to look after this one. This is probably the best style that I like. I have normally I would use like a heat protector. I've been using John Frieda Frizzies, which is really good, and they actually recommended it to me, but I put quite a bit in yesterday, so, and there's just a bit of a product build up at the moment, and I haven't like conditioned it in a while or washed it, so I'm trying to like limit the stuff I put in it. But yeah, I'm just using these straighteners from Remington. Don't know the model name, but if I find it, I will link it below. And yeah, I thought I'd just have a bit of a chit chat with you guys. It's my mum's birthday today, so if you're watching, Mum, happy birthday. And I feel like I haven't been on here and done like a sit down talk video for a little while, so this is definitely due. As you guys know, I have just started a new job, and some of you are going to be like, another new job, but for those that haven't necessarily watched all of the more recent videos, I am now self-employed, so contracting, and I did a little bit of this last year for those of you guys that are new, but and I really enjoyed it, but I kind of dipped back into permanent work for a while, but then kind of decided no, I wanted to take the plunge and just make this the way that I work. So self-employed life is in full swing. I've been in my role for just over a week now, like a week and a half, and yeah, really enjoying it at the moment. It's a really cool company to work for, and if the pay wasn't enough, they have like a drinks fridge with like wines and beers and like fizzy drinks, which I'm a bit of a fan of. So yes, the perks are real. They also have like a studio where they do like lunchtime fitness classes. They do like boxing, yoga, all sorts. It's good fun. The people seem really cool as well, so that's always good. I'm only there for about, how long am I there? Until the end of January, so that makes it like October, November, December, like 4 months. Sometimes with contracts they do extend, but yeah, the maximum I'll be there is 4 months from now. So yeah, so that's that. What else is going on? Yeah, this will probably be the first time I'm mentioning this on camera, maybe. But yes, I am currently talking to, well, I'm making quite a few changes in my life. Obviously, job-wise, you guys already know about that. But I think I've reached a point where, I don't know if it's like the whole like turning 30 thing, or if it's just, you know, how my life has sort of played out. But I've sort of reached a point where like peace is my priority, and anything that sort of disturbs the peace, shout out Ludacris, anything that kind of disturbs my peace is just, it doesn't really have a place in my life anymore. So I am, career-wise, I feel like I'm exactly where I want to be and exactly where I've always wanted to be. You know, YouTube, I'm still enjoying being on YouTube. I'm enjoying now finally having reached that pinnacle moment in my career where I'm like self-employed. You know, I'm ultimately in charge of my own destiny. I have, you know, I'm making income not just from like the marketing expertise that I've sort of built up, but you know, all of the stuff that I'm doing online here, being able to collaborate with brands and companies that really fit with who I am as a person and what I do. It's amazing. So I think I'm not just saying this for the sake of it, but I'm actually saying it to remind myself that I am exactly where I dreamed about being some time ago. So I'm in a good place. But at the same time, I think sometimes when you experience a lot of change in your life, and lots of big things happen over the years, and you don't deal with things properly, they have a way of catching up to you. So yes, I guess just to be completely honest and transparent, a few weeks ago, I think it was, I had like what I'd say is my first panic attack, and I would say it was definitely anxiety related. I was actually supposed to be going away. Okay, now I'm really getting up close and personal, but why not? I was supposed to be going to Washington to see a friend of mine, and like I couldn't fly. This happened the day before, and I just decided I wouldn't go, just because I didn't want to get on the plane kind of feeling like that. So the flight anyway happened to be cancelled because it was around the time where there was like a hurricane passing through that part of the States. So I guess things all worked out for the better. I don't know if you say that. Well, not for the better. Hurricane is bad, but my flight was cancelled anyway. And then I guess I just wasn't really feeling like myself, so I took it upon myself to speak to someone, and I have been speaking to a counsellor for the last 2 weeks, and it's been really good actually. So just using some milk and magnesia. It's been really good because I'm somebody who is one, a great listener, and I enjoy, you know, listening and helping my people sort of work out their things, but rarely do I kind of talk about the things that are like the really deep-seated important things that are affecting me or that have affected me. Maybe because I didn't realise half of the stuff had affected me so deeply. And I think in life, when you go through trauma, or I think just in general, when you experience hardship or change or loss, and you don't deal with it, or you don't let yourself kind of go through the motions with it, it will catch up to you. And I think that point in time 2 weeks ago was basically the manifestation of all of the things that I've never allowed myself to deal with kind of coming back and just hitting me at once. And I remember feeling, just after it happened, or just before it happened as well, feeling like this overwhelming sense of dread, or like something really bad was going to happen. And I was convinced something really bad was going to happen or had happened, but I suppose I would now relate that to just anxiety, or the build-up of emotions. And yeah, it was just really weird. I still find it really hard to kind of explain it or make sense of it in my head, but I guess that's the point. You are supposed to basically, sorry, I'm just going to turn this off. You're supposed to get to the bottom of it and uncover what it could be. So just using the tongs now. So yeah, I'm trying to do just that with this therapist, and it's been really useful actually. I've really enjoyed. I'm not somebody who talks about myself a lot. Obviously you guys will think different, because here on YouTube that's what I generally talk about, because it's my channel and that's the whole idea. But in my everyday life, I listen, and I love listening. Like, don't get me wrong, I love I love hearing from other people, but I realised that I wasn't doing enough talking of my own, and that is why I'm enjoying these sessions so much. So yeah, it's somewhat of a personal thing to be discussing on YouTube, but I think it's important, because I think we live in such a high pressure environment, and I think to be a young woman in your 20s/early 30s, maybe even older, and to be single and to be trying to figure this all out in a world where everyone is always sharing their successes and sharing positive things that are going on in your life. It's very easy to put a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's very easy to feel inadequate and to feel like you're lagging behind, and to feel like, you know, you just need to keep going and going and going and hitting these goals. But actually some things, you know, I've come to accept that not everything will happen in the timing that you want it to, and also some things are just not that important in the grand scheme of things. Like I got so hung up on you know, career success and, you know, financial freedom, which are all things that are, you know, important and nice to have and great, but I think I just let it take over actually being somebody who is young and who now is in a point in time where they are free enough to be able to enjoy themselves and just do things randomly on a whim because you want to, like just randomly get up and decide to go on holiday, or randomly get up and decide to take yourself away for the weekend, or buy something really nice and expensive. Like, I just lost all sense of youth, and I think for a long time I was trying to be too grown up for what I was. Like in my early 20s I was thinking about getting a mortgage and getting married and starting a family, and now I think back to that girl and I'm like, what was the rush? Like, what was the rush? And I think I've definitely been on a path. I was on a path. I was like, I need to check off all these boxes, but yeah, it's not how it works. And I think when I decided to just stop and just think about what makes me happy or what doesn't make me happy, that's when I really started living. So now I feel like I'm trying to do more fun things, and you guys will probably see a bit of that reflected in my content. But I'm also trying to discover who I am outside of the context of my family or my friends, or, you know, people who I might then become romantically involved in. I'm just trying to figure out who is Nadreen outside of all of that stuff, because I feel like once I have a firm grasp on that, then I can start to bring other things into the picture. So yeah, it's therapy, counselling, whatever you call it. It has been a real eye-opener, and I think it will continue to be something I'm doing on a weekly basis. I don't know if I'll be doing it that frequently the whole time, but I am really learning a lot about myself, and I felt like it was important for me to take this time while I'm kind of single and you know, don't have like loads of responsibilities. I felt that that was important to do. What else am I doing, you know? But I'm doing a lot of other stuff. But yeah, me and getting to know me and looking after me is the most important thing for me right now. And not in a selfish way, but yeah, actually in a selfish way. Like, you can't be of use to other people if you don't look after yourself. So, and I'm not saying my whole life is about being of use to other people, but it's a big part of who I am. So yes, that's going on. I guess, oh, like, I was thinking about like property and homes and things like that. Like, you guys know I've always wanted to be a homeowner, and I was a homeowner until I wasn't. Until I sold my last place, and I've kind of been thinking about how to get back on the property ladder. Now, I'm not trying to rush the process because I'm single and it's not going to be a quick and easy thing, based on just how expensive it is in London and how much you have to be earning to even be an eligible candidate for properties in London. But yeah, so I've kind of been, you know, thinking outside the box, thinking about maybe not being an owner occupier and being an owner landlord almost. But I'm definitely thinking that if London doesn't work out, so basically I'm going to try and see how I fare as a self-employed person, because my income is a lot higher than it would be if I was sort of full-time employed, permanent employed. So I'll see what that gets me here in London, or if it gets me anything here in London or just outside. And then if that doesn't work out, then I'm just going to go elsewhere. So I'm just going to look. I've been, you know, you guys know I've been to Manchester quite a bit, and I've always talked about how I love it as a city and as a place to live. Obviously, I don't know anyone. Okay, I know 2 people there, but I don't know loads of people there. Like, all my family and friends are in London. But I feel like the way the transport system is set up, if I wanted to make that my move, like, I could get back and forth between Manchester and London very easily, and it wouldn't feel much different. So yeah, I'm gonna see how I fare in London and then cast my sights a bit further afield, because at the end of the day, I'm very much a firm believer in living within your means in some scenarios, not everything. Like, I do think it's good to stretch yourself beyond what your expectations are. But at the same time, when it comes to big commitments like a house, I don't want to feel like I'm burdened by a huge, like, financial commitment that I actually can't really afford. So yeah, I will own my own place one day, and I want to be able to do it by myself. before I don't know, maybe again I might meet somebody and we might buy a home together. But right now I think it's very important for me to know I can do it just for me. So that is in progress. I think I need to be in my current role for a little bit longer, but I'm already going to start. I've already started reaching out to lenders who specialise in contractors, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm feeling very hopeful, but at the same time I'm not, the pressure is not on. Like, I'm not in a rush. I like renting. I like, you know, the flexibility of having like a 1-year contract and then being able to move to somewhere else. So how much longer I'll be renting, I don't know, but it's not like, I'm not like, oh my god, I hate renting. Like, yeah, it's more expensive, but where I don't know where I'm going to live or what my life looks like over the next 5 years, it makes sense for me right now. And being able to be in London makes sense for me right now, especially where I kind of went from ending a relationship, a long-term relationship, and feeling like I needed to be close to the people who I know and love. So there is that. What else can I update you guys on? Health and fitness, because I think that's an important thing, isn't it? Has not always been a huge priority in my life, but I think that is really just as a result of me being lazy and lucky enough to be blessed with genetics that don't I don't put on weight too easily, so I'm very thankful for that. Trust me, because if you knew what I ate, it would be a whole mess. So hair is done. So basically I'll tend to like curl it like this. I've curled this the wrong way, but it doesn't really matter. This normally I should curl away from my face, but that's what it is at this point. And then I'll just brush out the curls because I don't want it to look too try hard. Normally for work I'd just like curl the ends, and that's that. Yes, anyway, health and fitness. So I'm trying to make better health choices, and I'm starting with my food because Lord knows I've had a few gym memberships that have really just been a free direct debit for the gym and nothing much for me. But I decided that I can do a diet change, and that's manageable. So I actually just done my food shopping order, and I am basically just not eating red meat during the week unless it's like a special thing. Like, for example, my first day at the new job, my line manager took me out for a really nice steak. If you guys live in London, really good steak place, it's Flatiron Steak. So we went to the one not too far from like Westbourne Park where I work. Yeah, but normally eating red meat during the week is not something I do, so that's that. By the way, I'm doing my eyebrows. I'm just using this eyebrow pencil from Sleek in the colour Brown 191. I normally have like a Revlon eye pencil that I love, but that's finished, so I will use this for now. And I always start with my brows because I feel like they frame your face and how the rest of your makeup basically looks, so that is why. So yeah, I'm making healthier choices, white meat only during the week. Trying to get in lots of vegetables, lots of protein. I wouldn't say I'm like holding back on carbs hugely, because I do like rice, and there's this like paella rice that I love to get from Lidl, which is like frozen, and you basically fry it from frozen. I think it's like pre-cooked a little bit, so yeah. So I am loving rice still. I mean, I think Africans love rice in general. So yeah. And then when I order takeaway, I'm trying to have like more like Greek and stuff like that. So yesterday I had a takeaway and ordered some Greek foods, so like falafel, hummus, chicken, cucumber yogurt, or tzatziki, I don't know how you pronounce it, with like these like little cheesy jalapeno bites, which is like breaded. It's like a jalapeno in cream cheese, and then they put like this batter around it and like fry it. Oh, so good. Not that healthy, I'm not gonna lie, but I guess it's better than like Chinese or pizza. To be fair, it might actually just be the same, but we'll go with it. Yeah, so will I join a gym again? There is one up my road that all my siblings go to, and I've been thinking about joining that. But I think maybe the safest thing to do, knowing me, would really just be to go do like a pay-as-you-go thing. And if I end up spending more per month than I would on a membership, then I would get a membership. But there has to be proof that I'm actually going. So that's how we're going to do that. But do you know what? I also think that commuting is really a good way to keep trim. So like when I'm like traveling to work, I always get the stairs or like walk up the escalator as opposed to like standing still, which doesn't sound like loads, but you know, it's better than not. And whenever I start a new job, I do tend to lose weight. Like if I've been at home and then I'm like starting a new job, I do see my weight drop drastically because of commuting. So I think traveling to work every day is actually really good for you, depending on how you're doing it. If you like sat on a train for like 3 hours, then maybe not, but that's good. And it's also like getting into more of a routine as well that I think helps that, so always good. Reading, feeding the mind. So we talked about feeding the body, feeding the mind. Oh, okay, so outside of you know, processing my emotions a bit more thoroughly, I have been reading a lot recently. You guys will know what books I'm into if you follow me on Instagram, or what books I'm currently reading if you follow me on Instagram, because I always post on my stories. And two books that I've really enjoyed of late are The Slumflowers, What a Time to Be Alone, which I just think was the perfectly timed read for me right now, especially based on the person that I am. And I don't know, I was just really inspired by, you know, some of the like lessons in that, and also just to like, it's very much about, you know, yes, you might be alone, you know, whether that's in a relationship sense or whether that's in the sense of that you feel like you're treading a path in life that not many other people are treading, or you're physically alone, like you live far away from, you know, your immediate circle or family or friends. But there's just it kind of, I love that it paints the picture that actually this is probably the best time to get to know and get to love you as a person. So yeah, I said on my Instagram that if you are a single girl, it's a really good read. Really good read. So yeah, two foundations I've been using now that I've curled out my eyebrows are Estee Lauder Double Wear and Revlon Colour Stay. Now there isn't loads left in here, so I think before I throw it out, let me just squeeze the last bits of it and wear this today. This is also kind of a bit too light for me at the moment. I think I definitely caught the sun this summer that's just gone, so probably just as well it's nearly done. I could actually probably use this as a concealer if I'm honest. Yeah, that'll do. Estee Lauder Double Wear is like one of my favourite foundations, but I feel like I need to experiment with a few more, because people talk about like the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, NARS, Sheer Glow, loads. I'm also using this new Real Techniques beauty sponge, so just like the alternative to the beauty blender, and I am loving it. I don't think I'm gonna order another beauty blender because I don't think they do them here in the UK, and if they do, it's just, you can get just as good products here, it would appear. So yeah, I won't be ordering that again. So yeah, reading, yes, I'm also reading a bit of fiction as well. So I'm really enjoying my current read, which is The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I love a bit of a thriller. It's always good to like, I think it's like, it's my alternative to like watching TV. I get that same level of entertainment, which is good. And this book is just like, it's like really fascinating. Like, I'm into like psychological thrillers like as a genre, just because I just love hearing about the variations of how the human mind can just mess with your life all in all. So really enjoying that at the moment. It's a proper page turner. I will link it below for you guys. And I've got another fiction book after that, and then I've read basically all the books that I had outstanding to read. So instead of rereading, I might reread some actually, because some of them you never really take in everything from a book, I feel like, on the first read. So I always like to kind of go back in and see what else I can get from it. I'm using NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is my fave. So that's books. I also want to start reading some more books about marketing, but I tend to find that videos are more engaging. I've also ordered Patricia Bright's new book, Heart and Hustle, or pre-ordered it anyway. So that'll be on its way to me when it releases. I don't know when that is, but I've ordered it on Amazon, pre-ordered it on Amazon. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it for books. Things I'm watching. So I reinstated my Netflix, and I do this, like, I go through phases of Netflix where I'm like, there's nothing on here to watch. But they put Friends on it recently, so they got me. They got me. So I've been watching a lot of Friends. I remember a few years ago when I lived alone when I was like renting before I moved back home to buy, to save for buying. I watched the whole of Friends from like all the way through, and I did it in like a month or something crazy like that, and it was so good to like finally understand the story behind everything, because I think Friends is one of those things that you can just kind of pick up and watch a random episode here and there, but to be able to sort of see the journey and understand like the storyline was actually really nice. So yeah, I've been getting into that. It's just easy viewing, and I tend to watch like an episode before bed. Just kind of puts me in a nice chilled out mood. So I've been watching a lot of Friends. So I'm going to use this MAC Studio Fix Fluid, and it is in the shade NW58 for contouring. So that's Friends, and then show-wise, obviously I am watching my usuals. Insecure, Greenleaf, which I'm loving. What else? What else am I watching on there? I used to watch Married to Medicine, but I tend to kind of, I don't add, if I'm going to add a show, then I have to take one away. So just to, like, I could literally spend my whole life watching shows. There's so many shows. So yeah, stop watching that. Waiting for Real Housewives of Atlanta to come back. Was watching Basketball Wives until it finished. I'm also watching, I started Shooter, which was good. It was good, but I don't know if it's for me, because then I discovered this other show called The Bodyguard, which is like a British show, and that's really good as well. But I kind of caught a spoiler, like I spoiled myself. I forgot what episode I was on, and they do like an episode recap at the beginning, and they showed something I hadn't seen yet because it was an episode I hadn't seen yet. So kind of annoyed with myself. I don't actually know at this point whether or not I'm going to bother trying to finish it, so we'll see. But Shooter's really good. Sorry, The Bodyguard is quite good. I also watched Napoli Ever After, and I'm bringing it up in, you know, the same breath as all these series, because I thought it was going to be a series, and then it was a movie, which, you know, was still good, but I thought it was going to be like a proper series, kind of taking us through her journey of, well, I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but yeah, I was a bit miffed that it was only a movie. So yeah, but I really enjoyed it. It was really good, a good watch, and it kind of made me feel like, oh, do I want to cut off my hair again? Obviously this is a wig, but underneath my hair's short anyway, but sometimes I'm just like, ugh, can't be bothered with it. It's so much to look after it, and I've been trying to look after it a little bit more, but it's just, I'm just lazy, and I just need things that make my life easy. Camera battery's flashing, so I'm going to try and speed this up. I'm nearly done though. So I'm using and making a mess, Ben Nye banana powder. So I just put a little bit in the cap here, and as I have some down here, I can take some from here. I'm going to need to wash this. To bake. I had stopped using this for a bit, and then when I ran out of my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I got back into this, and then I realised why I loved it so much. It's not great for photography because it does have quite a bit of flashback, but it looks good in person, and I think it's a good way to get some warmth back in your makeup if your skin has quite cool undertones. At least it works for me. So I put it under my eyes. I also carve out my cheekbones with it. And I don't bake it because that's when I find it starts looking a bit crazy. So yeah, so that's that. Then I will go all over with my MAC, what's it called? Studio Fix powder or whatever. Just to take away some of the starkness of the baking and to kind of set the foundation in place. I'll also go over my eyelids because I'll tend to put a bit of the Ben Nye on my eyelids just to give them more of a neutral colour for when I do my shadow. But I'll go back over that just so I don't look too crazy. And this is a perfect colour match for me. So that's that. I'm out of blush, but I do have a Laura Mercier one which I need to start using, but my MAC Love Thing blush is nearly done. Oh, do you know what? Wrong order, sorry. Vital pressed powder in the shade PP11, just like a warm brown. Looks like that. This fallout is crazy. But it's the closest thing to my Sleek Wood Smoke, which is a pressed powder that I use for bronzing, which has been discontinued, I found out recently. Devastated. And so I put that on my lids and then carve out my cheekbones with it. So kind of use it as a bit of a blush as well. And then do like the outer edge of my face. I think I've done a bit too much there. But oh well. You can never be too bronze, especially in this weather. Then I will go in with my blush. And then I'm going to do my Morphe palette, and there's a colour, it's like a dark brownish grey colour that I'm using at the moment for contouring. So I'll just go down my nose like that. Sorry I'm not looking in the camera, but this isn't really a makeup tutorial, I'll be honest. And then I'll put the same thing in my crease. There's quite a bit of fallout from this palette, I'll be honest. And I don't use all the colours, so this will be the last time I buy a makeup palette again, because an eyeshadow palette with like all these bright colours, I'm just going to buy like browns and things like that, because I never use any of the others. Maybe I should be a makeup artist for a bit so I get to use them. But yeah, that's that. Then something new, but kind of something old that I've been doing with my brows is going over them with like either eyeliner or mascara, just to make them really sharp. I basically like trace the edges of my brows with, you can use liner, but I use my mascara because for some reason I don't have eyeliner at the moment, and I haven't had it in my makeup bag for a while, which just goes to show how much I use it. It's not that much. So I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Black, and yeah, so that's that. So I just kind of go under my brow, move in a bit closer, just to make it look really, really defined and like HD. And I'll do the arch, just to define that bit, because I feel like brows with an arch are the ones that look like really like whoa. And I do love a strong arch. It just changes like my whole makeup look. And then the tail as well. So yeah, I'll kind of leave it like that. Maybe I'll fill in a little bit more of there just to make it look a bit more dark. But yeah, as you guys know, I had my brows re-microbladed, and I'm going to go back for my 2-week top up, and then they should last me for pretty much the entire year. So I'm just going to go under here again. Do the arch. And yeah, that should about do it. That looked good. I think this one needs a bit more colour. There we go. So that's that, and then just take the mascara and do my usual thing. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me lately. Just trying to hang on to those little moments of happiness. I filled up my wine rack for the first time, so there's a moment of happiness. All red wines from Naked Wines, because I got a really good discount via a hookup from a friend. And yeah, I'm in a good place right now. So yeah, L'Oreal Telescopic Black mascara on the eyes, because this is the only thing that makes me look like I actually have eyelashes. I'm thinking about getting eyelash extensions, so I feel like that would shave a lot of time off my makeup routine in the morning. And there's a place in Canary Wharf that does them really good. A friend of mine who just got married recently actually got her done there for when we went to Barcelona for her hen, and they look really good, so I might go there. And also, I don't know if it's just me or my eyes, but whenever I've gotten eyelash extensions done in the past, because my lashes are tiny, the extensions don't have a lot to kind of latch onto, so they don't last as long as I feel like other people's do. I don't know, maybe that's not actually why. But yeah, you know what, I've really enjoyed spending the summer hanging out and going out with my siblings. It's actually been so fun. I don't think we've all ever been of like kind of going out age and in London at the same time, and able to kind of enjoy like you know, hanging together like this. So it's been really, really enjoyable. Now my brothers are back at uni and I'm working, so it's kind of like everything's gone back to, everyone's back in their normal routine. But I think once the boys graduate, then hopefully we'll be doing stuff like that more. So yeah, that is the final look. I'm just going to comb out my hair a little bit more, just so it's got like really soft curls. So we're actually not going out for my mum's birthday lunch anymore. We're gonna have a nice chilled night in, and we're gonna have a meal at home, or at her home. And that will be that. So this video actually was inspired by a friend of mine who wanted to find out more about the hair, and also me just kind of wanting to give you guys a bit of an update as to what has been going on, what my current makeup routine is, books I'm reading, like a random bunch of stuff. So actually I quite like these chit chat get ready with me's, because you get to cram in loads of stuff that you really want to talk about. It's like makeup, hair, fashion, all sorts. Oh, fashion wise, I'm wearing this top. You guys have probably seen it before, from Zara, and these jeans, these high-waisted jeans from ASOS, which I absolutely love. So that's great. I will link the jeans down below. The top I bought in store in Zara, so I don't even know where I'd go about finding it online, but just go on the Zara website, you should be able to see it there. Oh, lips. So nothing much has changed there. I am using this NYX lip pencil, in a matte lip crayon pencil in the colour PKN80W, which is like a dark brown. So I just put that all over my lips. But also health-wise, I need to go to the dentist to like figure out what I'm going to do with this gap in my teeth. I had a tooth removed because of overcrowding, and we need to find a solution now because that just looks a bit raggo. So the dentist said I could either get Invisalign, which is like £3 grand, and I was like, I'd rather buy a Chanel handbag, which I might be doing soon, but more on that later. And then he was like, the alternative is they can put in like an implant, almost like a fake half tooth, just to close that gap. So we'll see. So I do need to book in to go back to the dentist. So yeah, I do that. Then I do matte velvet teddy all over. And then I do Tom Ford in the shade Douglas. Oh, this is so, I love these Tom Ford lipsticks. They're really moisturising. I think I'm going to go back and get like a big size one. Yeah, I just put this kind of like in the centre. And it just, because matte lipsticks, whew, what a tongue twister, can be a little bit drying, so it's nice to be able to put that over in place of like a gloss or whatever. And sometimes what I'll also do is go over this, like if this just seems a bit too, whoa, this is very pink, I will kind of smooth it out with my finger. I actually have a makeup brush for this, but of course I'm not using it. Yeah, so I'll just sort of smooth it over my hand, and if it's still looking too pink, then I'll go in with this Vaseline lip balm in the shade Rosy Lips, which has got like more of a pink tint to it. This also helps the moisture as well. Just give it a bit of shine. And then that's that. So that is my current makeup routine. That is what has been going on with me. I want to close out this video by saying thank you to British Vogue for collabing with me on this. If you guys want to get your own copy of the magazine, a free copy, then click on the description box in the link down below. I'm definitely going to get one because autumn is coming and I want to really get some inspiration for what autumn winter 18 trends are going to be around, and also just kind of see a bit more of the lifestyle section and kind of see what the magazine is doing as a whole. So it's free, you normally have to pay for it. Make the most of this as much as you can, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.